William, I have a technique here that I think that you probably might want to try. It requires six things. You need a diamond plate of some sort. I prefer the Atama. This is a number 600 that is like really worn out, but I would recommend that you buy 1200 or a DMT. These really don't work that well, but to begin with or in a pinch you can use one. So those are two of the items. Third is you need a bevel setter. This is a really inexpensive king stone, a 1000 grit, and I think you can buy one for like $20 to $35, probably on eBay. It's a regular size bench stone. They're about 8 by 2 3/4. And then you need a finishing stone. This is an Asagi from the Okudo mine. And you need a Tomonagara, and I will provide one with a stone, and you need a razor. Like we spoke, this is a Hinkles. It's a 1950s Hinkles. I'm going to set the bevel on the 1K and finish on the Asagi. Okay, my bevel setting technique, it's the same as my finishing technique. I use a diminishing stroke count so that both sides of the razor gets treated evenly in alternate stroke patterns. So I'm going to do 10 strokes on one side. And then I'll break that in half. 5, 3, and the last few strokes I want to have a little bit less pressure so that that foil edge doesn't get pushed over to one side or the other too much. Okay, so we can set the king aside. Now, this razor was not totally dull to begin with, so setting the bevel was relatively quick and easy. You may need to start with 20 strokes and then go 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, or even 40 strokes if your bevel is not developed at all. So you got to have a set bevel to begin with. Okay, I'll set the king aside. Now here's the Asagi, and I'm going to do a 3-step program here. I'm going to raise a slurry with a diamond plate. I'll go through a series of strokes, then I'll use the Tomonagara, and then I'll just use clear water. Okay, you want to always have your stone fresh of any grit. Use a diamond nagara or diamond plate and raise a slurry. That's about all it takes. This represents maybe 1 or 2 microns of the thickness of the stone. You could hone a razor for a year and not wear through the stone at this rate. So okay, there's 10 strokes. And I'm using just a moderate pressure, although I use a sliding stroke that helps distribute the sharpening weight along the width of the razor. So I don't do circles because they miss the heel usually. As you can see with a circle stroke, your heel is off the stone quite often. I use straight on. They're easy to count, and I always count my strokes. And they, in more ways than not, keep the full width of the blade on the stone the full time. The reason why I use a diamond plate, and I recommend using one, is because they provide a grit particle size that the grit is in more like clumps rather than individual particles, so they do cut a lot faster when they're built up as a clump with a diamond plate. A number 400 is too heavy and it does scratch your stone unless you wear out your diamond plate beforehand, like by sharpening a couple knives or something. Okay, here's a Tomo Nagra, and I try to use the Tomo up towards the ends of the stone. This does wear down the stone a little bit. It wears down the Tomo a little bit, but honing anything, a razor or a knife, always wears out the middle of the stone, so use the Tomo on the ends. And we're going to do the same number of strokes. Okay, at this point, I'm going to gather most of that slurry off the stone. And I have a water bath over here, just rinse it off. And I'm going to do a series of clear water, rinse off the blade. Okay, so the stone is generally free of the large amount of slurry. This is clear water with just a touch of slurry. And these are weight of the razor strokes. Okay, there's 10. Now I'll take a water and just wipe off the rest of the slurry from the stone. Okay, at this stage, we're hopefully, time will tell with a HHT test, if that was enough strokes or if our bevel was set fully. Now I have a leather strop. This is nothing fancy. Was a high quality strop when it was new, but it is just a horsehide strop. And I'm going to do 20 strokes. Careful to keep the spine on the strop. Don't want to get too aggressive here and destroy what edge you just created. Okay, wipe off the blade. And I have here now some hair. And we'll see if this razor will pass a HHT test. Okay, so that was about a 4. That was definitely a 5. The hair just laid down on the other side of the razor. That was very weak. That was like a 2. at the end there. So I'm going to go back to the razor and just do a few more strokes on clear water. And we'll strop the razor one more time too. We know the razor's generally sharp. Now we just want to refine the edge a little bit. The extra strokes on the stone and on the strop. So we had one HHT5 that was out towards the toe, and we still have that there. Here's the middle, and that was a 4. It came back, but it was pretty much effortless. And here's at the heel, that was a 5. You can see the hair just hanging or falling down on the other side of the razor there. And here's the middle again. Got a little violent. I was holding it maybe too far away from the razor, but that was a 4. So this will be a shave-ready razor. And of course the proof is always in the pudding, shaving. But I've shaved with razors that are this sharp, passing those same HHT 4s and 5s, and it's a good range to be in. So I'll send you this video and see how it works with you.